I am the repairer of the breach. It is time for the Lord to work, for they have made void thy law. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and a hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, except he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Here is that name of that number of that man. Vicarius Filii Dei. Let's go over this number in Roman numerals. Let's go over this name of this number of this man in Roman numerals. Here we go. V equals 5, I equals 1, C equals 100, A has no value, R has no value, I equals 1, U equals 5, S has no value, comes out to 112. Next letter, Filii. F has no value. I equals 1. L equals 50. I equals 1. I equals 1. Comes out to 53. Let's go to the next letter. D equals 500. E has no value. I equals 1. Comes out to 501. When you add these all up together, it comes out to 666. This title and this name belongs to the Roman Catholic institution, Rome. This is their title. And that title means in place of God or instead of God. He takes the place of God. This is the man of sin spoken in Revelation chapter 17. And if that isn't enough for you, let's go to Revelation chapter 17 verse 4. It says, And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of an abomination and filthiness of her fornication. This is what Revelation is pointing to. It's pointing to the Roman institution. Their colors are scarlet and purple color. Scarlet and purple color is red and a purple color. This is the institution. And when I say come out of her, my people, I'm talking about the day of worship. Come out of this false Sabbath. It was instituted by the Roman institution. So come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. It's because of her sins and her errors is why you need to come out of this system. Even though you're not a Catholic believing Christian, you're still part of this system because you're worshiping on their day of worship, not on God's holy day. According to the fourth commandment, it says the seventh day is the Sabbath. If you go to Exodus chapter 20, starting on verse 10, it says, But the seventh day is a Sabbath. That's all you need to know. The day of worship. And if you look at the calendar always goes 1 to 7, 1 to 7, 1 to 7, all the way to 30. So this is how how we need to be calling people out of this false Sabbath. If you're a Seventh-day Adventist and get this message, start calling people out of this false Sabbath so they can worship the true God of heaven and earth, creator of heaven and earth. Let's go over the fourth commandment. It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt do no work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven, earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested this seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So if you're worshiping on Sunday, you want to come out of this false Sabbath and worship on God's holy day, the seventh day. But I've pointed to you guys on who the system is and who you guys are bowing down to every time you go to church on Sunday. This is the religious institution you're bowing down to. Let me pull this out over here. Let me read to you this. It says, this is in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. I'm here revealing to you who this man of sin is, or this institution, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is as God. Remember the name I told you? He is as God, or takes the place of God. It's this institution behind me over here, right here in this, in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Okay, so I gave you the name of the number of his name, which comes out to 666, and here are the colors. If you go to Revelation chapter 17 verses 4, it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color. What color is this? Purple and scarlet color. This is the institution you guys are bowing down to when you go to church on Sunday. It says, and decked with gold and precious stones. Let me bring up the precious stones and the gold. And what's this say? And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. What's it? It's got gold and precious stones and pearls. This system's got gold and precious stones and pearls, like Revelation says. And it says, and it goes on to say, having a golden cup in her hand. What's it got? What's she got? A golden cup in her hand right here. If this doesn't ring a bell into your guys' mind, you guys are going to accept the mark of the beast as we near the end of time. So come out of this false religion and start worshiping God on his holy day that he instituted in the beginning of creation. All right. It's Xavier Echeverria, the repairer of the breach.